official interview breakdown with the New Moon director is right now. Welcome back to Clevver TV. I'm Dana Ward. So let's jump right into the interview with New Moon director Chris Weitz. He was asked about how he directs a movie when everyone already knows the story as well as the ending. Good question. Well, Chris speaks out that it's actually an advantage because there's already others who know and want to see the production. He calls himself a fan of the book series, and like the rest of Twilight followers, he envisions the story in his mind. Chris says that he's pretty lucky to have tens of millions of dollars at his disposal to help create that intense vision, and he just hopes that everyone watching is entertained and excited about the final product, even with knowing the final plotline. Weitz goes on to say that all of the hype about the relationship between Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson and how producers apparently want to keep them mum on the love, it's probably quite intriguing for fans, he says, and all the talk is likely due to film marketing. I feel like I'm still left wondering though. Now, as the interview continues, the New Moon director speaks out about the film's tone and how it's meant to be for the brokenhearted, saying, quote, "We're probably going to put out one of the greatest breakup mix albums of all time on the soundtrack." He notes that Alexandre Desplat as the man in charge of the music, stating there's a sense of French romanticism and emotionalism, as well as great tracks for the guys. Speaking of the guys, Chris states that he meant there to be tact when shooting Edward and Jacob without shirts on. Obviously, the interviewer was talking about the female viewership wanting a bit of opposite sex appeal, and I think New Moon will definitely deliver. Weitz also mentioned how it's been pretty interesting shooting movie scenes because somehow fans come out of the woodwork to block the path to lunch or the street to the next location. Lots of autographs and photo taken have happened for the cast, but the director was sure to say that he's been pleasantly surprised at how enthusiastic, how supportive, and how friendly everyone has been throughout the production. Lastly, when asked about all of the vampire dramas that are out there these days, Chris named the identifiable manner of the emotional situations in Twilight as really catapulting the whole vampire phenomenon. The heart-heavy feelings of confusion and love are ones that most viewers can identify with, and then the added element of the supernatural just makes it that much better. Also, Weitz notes that Summit Entertainment was a partner who really understood the dark places of sorrow and angst that he needed to guide the film in order to have the overall wanted result. Now you've heard it straight from the director, Chris Weitz. Remember, you can always go to clevertv.com for all of your Twilight Saga news and gossip, as well as a New Moon book chapter recap. I'm Dana Ward. Thanks for watching.